So, a WATA graded ROM hack has the whole Reddit community in a stir. People are sharing it over on Facebook, so let's just talk about it. So first off, if you have no idea what we're looking at talking about, WATA graded a ROM hack that is Pokemon Liquid Crystal HD version. It got a 9.8A++, and the seller is asking $2,550, which right off the bat, eBay prices are meaningless. eBay asking prices mean nothing. I don't know why there's a ton of people, a ton of collectors, gamers, whatever you want to say, a ton of people who think that just because something has a high eBay price, that in any way conflates to the actual value of the item. It doesn't. Perhaps I'll be the first one to tell you this, but 95% of buy it now asking prices on eBay or really any other marketplace for any item is bullshit. Most of them are terrible. Most items will never sell. It will sit and rot on eBay forever, which if you actually do want to see how long it's been up, you can just view all revisions and look at that. This has been posted since February 4th, 2022 at least. Because, like I just explained, this will never sell. Right on the label as well, you can see WATA did say it's a reproduction ROM hack, reproduction box by Retro Now. The most surprising thing to me was that this ROM hack apparently does actually sell for over $200 as a factory sealed ROM hack. It seems crazy to me, but I know that some people are really into this ROM hack homebrew scene. It has a dedicated marketplace and fan base, so if people want to spend their money on this type of stuff, I genuinely do not care. All the power to you. So of course, a Reddit thread gets made, and this is exactly why WATA in general just should not grade stuff like this. I think it's just a weird line that you start to draw with, okay, what kind of reproductions are we going to grade? What kind of homebrews? What kind of ROM hacks? How professional does it have to be? Does there have to be any kind of provenance? It just feels like a world that they never should have involved themselves in the first place. And I can say that they no longer do grade stuff like this, so as the first comment on the thread says, I really want someone to send in Pokemon My Ass Edition to get graded. Unfortunately, you will not be able to do that. They do not accept ROM hacks like this anymore. Which is a shame because that genuinely would be a funny prop to have on display. A guy chimes in and says, I'll do it. Where can I buy this CIB? Never mind, I got it. I'll send it in to get graded. So Coach McGurk clearly is not aware that grading any CIB game with WATA will run you $170. The joke kind of runs itself real thin when we start talking about that amount of money, and even so, like I said, they'll no longer do it. Which is another joke on this subreddit to like send something stupid into the grading company to see what will happen. Which I guess on paper sounds a little bit funny, but what will happen is you will pay a shipping fee, you might pay some kind of rejection facilitating fee, and then you'll pay a return shipping fee, and no one's going to really think the joke was funny. WATA is grading someone's arts and crafts project, Lamau, and that's kind of where I see it too. It's just something that shouldn't have ever been graded in the first place. People saying that of course WATA is going to grade stuff like this because you want to scam as many demographics as possible. Grading in itself, of course, being a complete scam, and the fact that they graded a ROM hack only further enforces that, I guess. I showed you guys the label. They marked it exactly what it is. Here's another person. The entire grading system is a joke, and if you go down, it's ruining game collecting. A lot of people think their stuff is worth a fortune when it's not. Like I said, eBay listings mean nothing. And just like how this person thinks it's ruining game collecting, the person who listed their thing for sale on eBay is free to pick whatever price they want. If someone buys this, people really are dumb enough to buy anything. Don't worry, no one is ever going to buy it. This is art, a fake game graded by a fake grading service. See, that's actually funny, right? There's a punchline there. Actually a good joke. I'll swap that to an upvote. And then you have people who look at something at face value and just jump to the extremes. Probably posted for sale by one of the WATA boner fools here, always arguing that absolutely everything should be graded and never played. Nobody has ever said every game should be graded and never played. You're making up something to get mad about. You apparently don't hang out here much. There definitely are those kinds of people among us. I'm a very sad and lonely individual who reads any kind of interesting thread posted to our game collecting almost every day. If a sealed game gets posted, if a graded game gets posted, it's far more likely that you're gonna have people running in there saying, you need to open it and play it, smash it, break it, than you're gonna have people saying, send it in for grading. And even before that small representation of people who are even aligned with grading show up in this subreddit, who know enough to even recommend getting it graded, again, in this subreddit that is very clearly anti-grading overall, before those people even have a chance to show up, you're gonna have a group of people who say, great, awesome item, get an acrylic case for it, that looks awesome. That is generally the response people are going to get. This sums up how stupid the retro gaming market really is. Does it? Does it sum up anything? Does one person's activity on eBay sum up the entire retro gaming market? And if you sort over by controversial, you really get the best takes that our game collecting has. Pretty much, yeah. Keep up the fight though. I see those graded speculationist fuckers come in here every now and again. We gotta stand strong and stand together. Could not agree more, the great Mike. Fuck those guys who enter into our game collecting. I got an ad for WATA here on Reddit the other day. Worst day of my life. You are an extremely blessed individual, my friend. Game collecting is slowly becoming a joke nowadays. It's sad but true. Again, a high-priced eBay listing does not conflate the entire hobby. Willing to wager that Nintendo will go after WATA, eBay, and the seller for this one. I'm willing to wager they won't. Didn't they also grade a box of Pokemon Oreos back in the day? I fail to understand how they can still be in business with all this crap. If you didn't think game grading was a scam before, I hope this changes your mind. I don't know. I don't know. Does it change your mind? I think everyone who didn't think it was a scam would see a graded Romhack and say, oh, they marked it as a Romhack. That's weird that they even graded it. I don't think anyone thinks anyone is trying to scam anyone in this context. And then you have the other side of the argument, which is a good take in itself. I'm no lover of grading, full stop, but WATA are a business. You pay them to grade shit. You want your copy of Waterworld on VHS graded, they'll do it. They won't. WATA doesn't grade VHS. Basically, you send them in a thing, pay them the money, get it back in an acrylic case with a number on it. Yes, exactly. In essence, WATA did exactly what they can do based on what it is that they say they do. They can take in a ROM hack, assign a number, say it's sealed as far as sealed means in this thing. If there's someone out there who wants to pay 20, 30, 40 or more dollars to get that done to that item, WATA doesn't necessarily have to turn that person down. It is essentially free money as a business. Like I said, they no longer do it, and I don't think they ever should have done it, but as a business, they have no obligation to turn it down. This post right here is why this person cracked open a WATA case to verify the Mega Man X3. The cart was legit. Wow, that's surprising that WATA was able to properly identify a Mega Man X3 cartridge. And of course, you have the obligatory money laundering most likely. Because remember folks, and if there's one takeaway of this video, it's not about grading ROM hacks, it's not about fake games, real games, any of that, right? It's not about any of that. The main takeaway is if you see a high eBay bin listing, it's most likely money laundering.